Did you know that if you're between the ages of 18 and 35, you're 10 times more likely to die from a car crash?
Increase your odds by 50%.
Just by wearing a seatbelt.
It can make the difference between living or dying.
I know this.
We know this.
Do you?
So click it or ticket. In Rhode Island, it's the law. Seatbelts save lives.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Africa Teaching, a production of the Pepperbird magazine and Chesson Worldwide 360. I'm Karen McLaurin Chesson, your host. Today we are at the office of Dr. Glenn S. Prescod. Dr. Prescod is an ophthalmologist who has a practice in Pawtucket and Warwick. Dr. Prescod, we are so delighted to have you and thank you for letting us have this interview.
Thank you.
Dr. Prescod, as an ophthalmologist, you do specialize in diseases and surgery of the retina and the vitreous, right?
That's correct.
Could you explain that to our viewers and break that down a little bit so that people know exactly what you do?
Okay, so I'm an eye specialist, specifically an ophthalmologist. So I'm a retinal surgeon and also a physician. And the retina and the vitreous is the back portion of the eye. So behind the lens of the eye is made up of this jelly material called the vitreous. And in the back of that is the retina, which is a very thin film, almost like the film of a camera.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So, how significantly is the black community affected by eye disease?
They are. The big things that we worry about are both diabetic retinopathy, which is diabetes causing damage to the retina or the back of the eye, and also glaucoma. I do not deal with a lot of glaucoma patients, but glaucoma affects the black community in a very significant way.
I see. Now, macular degeneration.
Yeah, macular degeneration is an age-related damage to the back of the eye.
I see.
So there's a small portion of the retina called the macula, which is about the size of a pinhead. And that particular area can get damaged with age. But it affects a lot of non-white population, non-black population. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Non-black population.
That's correct.
Well,
So it doesn't affect us that much.
oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So what can people do to prevent getting the, well, if it's an aging situation, there's nothing much you can do.
Right.
But in terms of the diabetic eye, how is there a way to avoid that?
Of course. Basically, one has to make sure they have regular eye exams, especially if you're diabetic, and of course, keeping your blood sugar, your high blood pressure under control, your cholesterol under control. One can stave off or prevent a lot of the damage that diabetes can do to the eyes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So there are things people can do.
Yes, I think the most important thing is keeping regular eye exams, getting your eye checked regularly once you have diabetes.
All right, so somebody does, well, obviously there are a lot of people who have diabetic eye disease. How do you treat that?
There are many ways. We sometimes do laser, which we use a light beam to cauterize bleeding blood vessels in the back of the eye. More recently, in the last few years, we've been using a lot of injections of certain drugs to also close off these blood vessels. And then sometimes we take patients to surgery where we can remove blood and treat any damage to the back of the eye from the diabetes.
So there are treatments. It's not the end of the world.
That's correct.
And well, that must make you feel good.
Yes.
That you're able to correct conditions for people. Now, I noticed that you have people shadowing you. And these are doctors.
Some of them are doctors, some of them are medical students, yeah. But
Okay.
most of them are doctors in training. And some of them are from other specialties outside of ophthalmology.
Okay.
So some of them are family practitioners, internal medicine people, and other specialties.
Wow. So, and how? What's their period? Do they do that for 3-month period or 6-month period or a month?
Most of the time they do it for a month. They come and they spend a whole month with me, seeing patients and seeing what I do and how I do it.
Yes. And how you diagnose and
That's correct.
that kind of thing. And it, it never dawned on me, but once these people begin to practice, they'll remember you.
That's correct. They do refer a lot of patients
Yeah.
back to me.
So that's another point. When people, all right, first of all, make sure you get regular exams. Can the person just pick up the phone, or do they need to get a referral from them?
It all depends on your insurance plan. So some insurances, you have to go through your medical doctor, but some patients can come directly to me, or they're referred to me through optometrists or other doctors,
Oh, I
like
see.
an internist.
Okay, all right. And another thing, for our young viewers, could you share with them the process? Actually, can I rewind? Because there was one question. What led you to ophthalmology as opposed to many other areas of medicine?
Well, when I was in medical school, I was always drawn towards surgery. And when I was trying to decide what part of the body to do surgery on, the eye intrigued me, and I guess it never stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what type of education, what does it take to be not just an ophthalmologist, but also a surgeon?
Right. Well, it takes hard work and dedication, first off. But 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and then residency can vary from 3 to 5 years, depending on what specialty you go into.
Okay. So in your case, what did you have to do for your specialties? Because you have a couple.
After medical school, I did 4 years of residency, and then I did an additional year for fellowship, where you subspecialize and pick or choose a particular part of the eye that you want to deal with.
Okay.
So I dealt with just retina and vitreous, and that was an additional year.
And how do you get these surgical experiences then? At what stage do you get that?
During residency. So
Okay.
after
Oh,
medical
okay.
school, during residency, when you start to subspecialize, is when you go to surgery and basically shadow people, and then all of a sudden you start doing surgery.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, if somebody would like to come to you, you have an office in Pawtucket. I don't know the exact address. I need you to share that. And you have an office in Warwick, so you have good exposure.
Yeah, Pawtucket is 333 School Street, and in Warwick is 404 Tollgate Road in Warwick.
So, do you have any closing remarks for our, your phone number?
My phone number is 725-3600, and that would take care of both offices.
Okay. Is there an email address?
Yes, it's Rhode Island Retina.com.
Okay, easy.
Yes.
Great. So would you like to share any closing remarks with our viewers?
I think it's very important. The eyes are very, very important, and we tend to ignore it until we start having problems. So yearly eye exams, I think, is good, even if you don't have a medical disease or a medical problem. And that's it.
Well, Dr. Prescod, we're delighted that you were able to spare this time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, folks. Thank you.
Thank you for spreading the word.
Yeah, we're delighted. We are delighted. And I hope that you learned a few pearls of wisdom and know that regular eye exams are critical to your health and welfare. And thank you for watching Africa Teaching. We look to serve you again another time.